asked him, part two, because everybody seemed to like the first one. Even though I've been doing this for a while, but still. Sit back and relax and let me take you back to a day that was not too far in the past, literally last week. So, I am currently working part-time. Sorry, that was my stomach. It was like, oh gosh, I need to say something too. No. I'm currently working part-time in this clinic, and last time there was a weird clinician. This time I unfortunately was not working with the person I usually work with. And you know, the person I usually work with, they're my work bestie. They're really good. So I'm expecting her to come in today. But unfortunately, Thea walks through the door. And as Thea walks through the door, I'm like, what the hell is he doing here? Because I cannot be dealing with this right now. I cannot be dealing with this right now. It's basically so unnecessary when they have to talk about things like this. And I just feel like, you know, when your work bestie is not there, it's just not going to be a good day. It's just not going to be a good day. But I tried really hard to be positive, because if you're negative, then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and then the whole day is ruined. So I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to make conversation. So I said, hey, how's life going? You know, we've been working together before, but I feel like we're going to be good team. We're going to be doing well, and we're going to do things like that. And I just wanted you to be good and like go forward. So as long as we look out for each other, it's going to be fine. And they were fine. So they were like talking to me normally and things, and it was going pretty well. And then the first patient comes in, and I was making tea for everyone, because as soon as I get into work and everyone's chilling, I'm just like, would you like tea? Would you like tea? Here's tea for you. Here's tea for you. And then someone randomly says, oh, can I have a coffee? And I was like, where on the menu did I say coffee? But sure, I'll make it for you, because I got your back. So I'm making the tea. And this patient comes in. They deal with the colleague that I'm not used to deals with the patient. And so they're sitting down, and it's like a couple minutes at this point. Actually, I feel like it's been 15 minutes since the patient walked in. At this point, I'm like, why haven't they been called in? And so they come up to the front, and they're like, oh my god, it's been a long time. I'm sure that's not going to be there. What's going on? And it's going forward, and it's almost been 15 minutes. And understandably so, they're going to be upset. Now, the patient was really nice. They weren't that rude or anything, but they were upset because it's 15 minutes past the time they were being seen. So I look at the system, and they had not been processed, and I'm like, well, it's not very difficult. You just have to press one button, and it literally just checked their details, and they're there. And then he turns around and he goes, oops, sorry, my bad, I didn't do anything, I couldn't check them. I was like, what the hell, why not checking them? It's really easy to check them. You just press one button and things. And I'm just like, oh my god, why haven't you done that? I was like, dude, you had one job. I was literally trying to build a rapport with you and make you tea, and you had one job to do, and you can't even do that job. But really, I know that on the slide, basically, what it's trying to do is it's trying to make the patients seem like they're being late, but really they didn't appear late, but it takes some small slots, which means that there's less work for them to do, but really that's so bad, and that's just abusing the system. And I feel like people like that who abuse the system are not good people, and they're people that I don't want to associate with. So from then on, I was like, you better watch your back, because I'm not going to be friendly with you if you're doing things like this. And it's literally the first half an hour of me knowing you. So the day goes on, and we get to 11 o'clock. Now, because it's part-time, I try to do long days. So the shift starts at 8 a.m. and ends at 8 p.m, so it's a very long day. We get to 11 a.m. and he turns around and he says, hey, do you have keys to lock up? And I was just looking at him like, what does that mean? What does that question mean? Does that mean you want to leave early? And so he keeps making a conversation with me about whether I have keys or not, and I'm not directly answering this much gossip on the internet. I'm like, whatever. But yeah, so I'm telling him that you need to be careful. I'm not gonna do that because I don't like that. I don't think you should be thinking that going thing in the background. I'm just like, that's going forward. So yeah, I'm just going to do that. And I was like, the nerve of this person who hasn't known me for that long but wants to leave early. I was like, you just got here. You want to leave early. Why would I do work for you when you're barely sitting there? It's an easy job. Why would I do the work for you? And so yeah, why would I do the work for you? I'm not being paid extra. If you want to give me your money, then sure, you can go early. And so I turned around and I said, I mean, what time are you scheduled here to be to? And he goes 8 p.m. and I was like, then we'll leave at the same time. That's all I said, and I left it at that. And then he keeps like turning and facing me, and like he wants to say something, like he's trying to think of a way to leave. And so he turns around and he says, I think this was at like 12 o'clock, he goes, well, we don't both then have to be here, but you take an extended break, and then I'll leave early because that's when you're gonna leave early, and it's gonna be fine, and we're gonna have like, it'll be like we haven't done the work, and it's gonna be like that, and we don't have to do anything else. And I'm just looking at him like, dude, I appreciate this job so much. Context-wise, it's a very easy job. It's simple, mindless work. It's important, but it's simple, mindless work. So I really appreciate it because I can do other things. And I used it to study. I'm not studying anymore, but I used it to study when I had to. But he had the audacity to say, how about you take an extended lunch break and I leave early? I'm like, even if I take an extended lunch break, I still have to come back. And at work you're not doing anything anyway. So how does this work for me? So I said no. And of course he wasn't happy with that. So he turns around and he goes like, and he's trying to be like that, and he's trying to be like, well, I don't understand what it would do. What will it take for me to leave early? And I just don't understand this. And he doesn't want to do that, but I just thought that it's not going to be something that he's going to do forever. But I just felt like if he wants to get away with things, he's not going to get away with things. And I feel like it's going to take me for a ride. I'm just like, what's going on? And he was like, come on bro, do me a favour. I'm not doing you a favour. I don't know you anything. Who are you? I don't know you. I'm not doing you a favour. Don't call me bro. I have 2 younger brothers. They can call me bro, not you. I was just getting really annoyed with him. And then he finally gave up at like 12:45, 1 o'clock, around lunchtime. He gave up. He was like, fine, that's fine. I won't leave early. I'll just leave whatever. And the audacity is he drives. He drives into work. And he doesn't live far away. So it would make sense. I live further away. It takes me about 45 minutes to an hour to get to work, and I have to go by public transport. Not that that's any excuse, but if anyone needed to leave early to reach a certain place, it would have been me. I was like, the math is not my thing. But yeah, after around lunchtime he gave up and he was like, I'm going upstairs for a little bit. I'm like, your break hasn't started yet, but whatever, just go, leave me alone. Think there'll be less mistakes that way. And so he goes upstairs, and I'm telling you, like, he said that I'm gonna go upstairs for a bit, I'm just gonna chill with my friends, and all of that time he was gone for like a laugh, like 1:30, it wasn't there, 1:35, it wasn't there, 1:45, it wasn't there, 1:50, it wasn't there, 1:55, it wasn't there, 2 p.m, it wasn't there. And then we get to 2:30, so he's been gone from around 12:45 to 2:30. Bear in mind we only have 1 hour lunch break, unpaid. So he has been gone over an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes. And he comes back, he sits down and he goes, oh yeah, I've just been chilling. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for my break. And he goes, oh, but there's lots of people waiting. And I was like, deal with it. Then I went to have my break upstairs, and I didn't take the mickey or anything. I spent about 10 minutes eating, and then 5 minutes on the phone to my parents, and then I went back downstairs, literally 15 to 20 minutes maximum, and then I made another cup of tea. I survive off tea when I'm at work. It's just how I am. I should really stop drinking it because it's a diuretic. I'm going to the toilet like 24/7, but that's okay. And then, so I come back and he goes, oh, you took a while. And I literally gave him a look. I was just like that. And he goes, I was just joking. And I was like, okay. And then he says, oh, I need to go upstairs again. I was like, for what? And he goes, oh, I'm just chilling. I was like, you can chill down here. And he just gives me a look, the same look I gave him. And I go, what? shows who's been doing what, who's been processing what. My name is the only name that's on there processing all of this information. His name's nowhere to be found. So I was like, you can sit there and do it. And then he sat there, didn't speak. And then after a couple of minutes he turns on and goes, I really need to go upstairs and do this thing. I need to talk to my phone. I need to go to the phone call, whatever. And so he goes to the phone call and he was like, okay, I'm just going to talk on the phone. And I can hear him. Literally at this point I can hear him talking on the phone upstairs. And he was talking about some lady in a very crude way. And I was just like, oh my god, it's not going to do that. And just not doing that. It's very loud. And sort of bit like that. And then someone comes and then the clinician, one of the nursing staff comes out of their rooms, which is far away, not that far away, but it's a good 30 seconds walk away down the hall. And she goes, who's talking so loud on the phone? My patients can hear it and they're complaining that he's saying really rude things, and she's taking it out on me. And I was like, I don't know. I literally said to her, look lady, I don't know, you have to go upstairs and you have to confront them because I'm not doing it. I'm literally not doing it. I'm not here to babysit people. And so she goes upstairs and they're having a little kerfuffle and they're talking about things like how it's not inappropriate, it's like not something that you need to do. And he gets really scared and then comes back down. And he comes back down and he goes, oh bro, oh my god, I don't want people to complain against me. I don't want this to happen. I'm like, I just ignored him, flat out ignored him. And he kept talking about how he's gonna get in trouble. And I just sat there like, oh my god, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna listen to. I've been doing like work. I've been good to get up and studying. I've been going to the gym and everything. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Like everything like that. I'm like, and like in my head, he was telling me how he's a good kid. He goes to uni, he goes to the gym and everything. I'm like, I didn't ask for this information. I'm literally staring directly at the screen, trying to mind my own business, earn my minimum wage, and just move on with my life. And he's just still yapping, and then he turns around. At this point it's like 3:50, almost 4 o'clock, because I remember this day vividly because I wanted to report it to one of my friends. Well, the best work friend that was unfortunately not in that day. So I wanted to report it to her, so I time-stamped it in my head. And so at 3:50ish, he turns around and he says, oh, how come you're not responding? I need you to be a witness to say I was here all this time. And I was just like, look, dude, look, bro, you're not going to be able to do that. I'm not going to vouch for you. Even if I did vouch for you, the security cameras on the screen will tell everything about that and will see everything you need to do. Your name's not even on the system. You haven't been doing anything like that, and you're not going to be doing anything like that. And I just feel like it's not that great of a work. It's not good work ethic. And really, if I had to tell the truth, I'm always going to tell the truth. And I was like, I'm always going to tell the truth, because at the end of the day, if I lie for you, it's my back that's on the line, not yours. Moral of the story is, of any story, look out for yourself, always tell the truth, watch your back, because these people are snakes. Doesn't matter if you work with them for 5 years, 10 years, that doesn't matter. When push comes to shove and they're put under the fire or they're interrogated, they're going to out you. They're going to be like, well, this person did this, when really you're just covering for them. What happens? You take the fall. Don't do it. Don't listen to it. Don't be manipulated by these people, and stick to your guns and say no, which is what I did. And that way things don't get that bad. And I was just like, oh my god, okay, that's going to be like that then. I'm not going to do that. Then from 4:30 onwards, not a peep, not a word. Bliss. I think he understood that we're not friends. We're here to work. And so he did his bits. Like, he tried to do like bits here and there. What was funny was throughout the whole day, the doctors and nurses, because there's 4 of them, the doctors and nurses would come out and they would only talk to me. They would not even acknowledge him. One time, and then so now around 6 o'clock, I went to get a bottle of water because I'm a bit like, not to be snobby or anything, but I'm a bit fussy with the tap water in there, because we use the same tap water that we can use that people wash their hands in, the same sink, sorry. It's not like a dispenser or a cooler. The hot water is in a different machine, so I use that, but the cold water from the tap, I don't use it. So I went to buy bottled water, and I came back and I see the doctor just standing there like, what the hell, where's everybody? I'm just standing there like with their hands on their hips, literally standing there with her hands on her hips like this. And so she comes up and she goes to the front and she is useless, so I'm not even gonna bother. Can you please do this, this, and this for me? And he stood up out of his seat and started he literally started shouting at her and telling her off. And he was like, "You can't talk to me like that. You can't call me useless. You don't know who I am. You don't know what I'm doing. You don't know anything about me. So how are you gonna call me that? You haven't even asked for my help. And you can't do that, things like that." And she turned around and she was like, "Look, this whole day you haven't been here. You haven't done anything. Your name is not on any of the processing, and I'm comfortable with this, with this particular member of staff because he does things efficiently. So I would like him to do it, and I'm gonna write you up." And at this point, his face he went from angry to like as if he was gonna get away with stuff. So he's begging her. When I say he's begging her to stop, he's like, "Don't worry, I'm so sorry. I'm never gonna do it again. I'm not gonna do anything like that. Don't worry. I'm just gonna continue with my work. You can ask anyone else. I'm really good at this job. I'm really good at everything. I'm not gonna do anything else. I'm just gonna go on with my life. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be fine." And the doctor was not having any of it. She was like, "Look, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here to just make my money and go home." I was like, "Preach, preach, preach, preach." And then she was like, "I'm gonna write an email about you. I know your name because I saw your smart card ID earlier, so I'm gonna write your name on the system and write an email about why you should not be working here." And I was like, I mean, it's not gonna affect him that much. It's probably not his main source of income. He's just covering one shift, but he's not gonna be able to cover anymore, I'm sure. And he was not happy. He was so upset for the rest of it. And then comes 7 o'clock and he gets up and he's like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna start closing now. I'm gonna start closing everything down." I'm like, "Why? There's still patients. It's patient at 7:30. Now the last patient is at 7:30 and it's 7 o'clock now. There's still 2 more patients to be seen and they haven't even arrived yet." He's starting to close everything, starting to lock things down, clean things. I'm like, "Look, you're not leaving early. We're leaving at the same time. We're gonna close the building together. No way. No way." And he was teaching me how to close things down. Like, "Look, buddy, I've been here for 8 months now. Relax. I can close the door and turn off a light switch." And so he's telling me what to do and how to do things. And I'm just like, "Look, you can't close the front. You can't go home because it's not good. It's not professional. You just need to move on and do your things that you need to do." So I'm just telling him, "Look, relax and just move on. Just be cool with it and just let me be and let's just go on." I don't understand people who come to work wanting to just, in my language, in Sylheti Bangla, which is a different dialect of Bangla, because I'm originally from Bangladesh, not born there. I was born and raised in the UK in London, but my language, we call them Hamsur, which is it's quite a rude term actually, so don't say that. But it's a work thief. They want to go to work but they don't do anything, so they're claiming the money for free. They're basically working, they're getting the money for free, they're getting paid for nothing. Good for nothing, paid for nothing. That's what I would describe him as. He wants to do nothing but he wants to get away with it. So all that time he's just doing that, and it was just so irritating. So irritating. He wanted to leave ASAP and pretend that he was doing work. He was doing nothing. He wanted to leave early. I was like, I hate people that do that. If you're doing a job, you've signed up for the work. You're volunteering your time. Sure, you're getting paid, but you're the one who has chosen to do this, so you should bring your 100%. Yes, there are some days when you're off and you can't give 100%. I get that. Or things happen and you don't want to be in that position, but you have volunteered. You have chosen to be in this position. Why do you want to leave? Why do you want to cut corners? Why do you want to compromise things? It just irritates me. I hate people like that. And so it's just he turns around and he's like, "Look, I just want to go home. I want to get over this. It's not been a good day. People have been coming to go at me for no reason." I'm like, "No, people have not been having a go at you for no reason. They've been having a go at you because you're quite incompetent." And then that put his face down, that put his mood even worse. It's like, "Well, are you going to write a report? Are you going to email people? Are you going to do this thing? Turn your back against people who happen to be looking out for each other?" And I was like, "Look, you want me to look out for you, but you haven't done anything to make it seem that you've been doing work. As evidence, his name is only on the system between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. Sorry. Excuse me. So I was like, there's no evidence to support you either way, even if I did so, and I'm not going to. And so he was really upset and going forward. I don't think it's doing like that, and he just had to do things like that. And I was like, whatever. So now it's becoming 7:30. The last patient has gone because they came early. this room and I'll close this room. And so I was ready, I was closed in the room. Bear in mind he can close down as well, so me and this other person left. And he was left there because the other clinician was taking a long time. She always takes a long time to close it and clean up and tidy up and just get finished. And he was stuck with her, so I think he left about 20-25 minutes after me. Whatever, not fast. And then he was like, oh my god, he messaged the group, like, you can't complain about things like that, it's not appropriate to do things like that. So he literally messaged in the group chat at that time, and I was just like, oh my god, how could you do that? He literally messaged in the group chat at like 9 PM saying, oh, can people leave on time please, it's not my responsibility after a certain amount of time. And then management at 9:01, I'm telling you, he messaged at 9 o'clock and they messaged at 9:01 saying, it is your responsibility. If you don't wait for them and you don't follow protocol and you don't do this and don't do that, we do not have a space for you in our organisation because this is private healthcare. I mean, it's run by the NHS, but it is a privately owned service. So he deleted his message after that, and then I don't know what happened. But yeah, that's all the work gossip. I don't think I'll be working with that person again. It really irritates me that people like that get through the system and ruin the experience of people in healthcare for no apparent reason other than to get money for free or to ruin the system and take advantage of it. Unfortunately, that still exists, but fortunately for us, there are people that want to do well for others and want to see people prosper and get better. And I like to think I'm one of those people as well. So hopefully you got tingles from this video as well. If you did, leave a comment below if you like the video. I'm sorry for all the noises in the background. My parents are sick at the moment, so they're coughing and spewing everywhere, unfortunately, downstairs, and I'm probably going to get sick as well. I already hear it in my throat. Yeah, so pray for me, keep me in your thoughts. But yeah, sorry, that was a bit manic. I'll see you guys in another video.